Called order at I got 1946. Roll call. Matt Hona.
Mark Howard.
Greg Phillips.
Chris Werland.
Chris Williams.
All right, and Chief didn't join us. If folks didn't know, I think he had an emergency out of town that he absolutely needs to deal with. Yeah, I texted him yesterday. He said, I can send you pictures. So I don't
No, thanks.
no pictures. Don't need pictures.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've added under old business number 5 to look at policies. One was recall and staffing, policy 1010 and 1011, and then policy 1200, which was the policy to change or omit or edit policy. So any other additions to the agenda?
We have to approve special meeting minutes.
We can put that under minutes from last meeting, and would be the exec session and the special meeting, right? So there's two extras.
Do we have the times for the exec meeting?
Yeah, they should be on my page. Jessica's, the clerk's position and the bank statements.
Okay. We'll put that on the new business number 2. Okay. Any other edits or changes to the agenda? I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
So moved. Second.
Okay. Been moved by Chris. Seconded by Greg. Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Public comment?
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet?
I did catch that.
Was your one and only? Okay, we'll get into financials.
I move to approve the financials.
Okay. Been moved by Chris,
Second.
seconded by Greg. Any further discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Payment of bills.
I move we pay the bills.
I'll second.
Been moved by Greg, seconded by Chris. Any further discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes from last meeting. So this will be the regular scheduled board meeting on March 19th.
I move to approve the recording as our official minutes from last meeting.
Moved by Chris,
Second.
seconded by Mark. Any further discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay. Next up would be our meeting minutes from the executive meeting that was held on
The 3rd of April.
April 3rd.
I'll move to approve the minutes.
I'll get the start and end times and add them. I don't have them currently.
Second.
Okay.
Chris and Greg seconded.
Right here and right here.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed?
I have to abstain. I was not at that meeting.
4-0, motion carries. Then we had the special meeting on the.
Oh, that's right.
That was Friday? It was last Friday. No, it
All
was
right,
last
great.
Friday.
I think it was last Friday.
I got, oh no. Those were other ones.
No, it was
No,
a
it
week
was
ago
the-
Friday.
Yes.
Third. It was the, it wasn't the third.
No, the third was ours.
No, I think it was last Friday. I wasn't there.
It's gonna be the third.
The 10th.
Friday.
No, it wasn't.
Greg, when did we have your meeting that you and I?
I'll tell you. Hang on.
No, you were the only one here.
I don't remember.
It's on this calendar.
No, I've been old for a long time.
Yeah, it was the third.
Well, then,
Ours
yeah.
was the third.
I thought it was last week.
Okay,
Yeah, it would've
Christine,
been-
you and I had one on the 7th and the 13th.
Okay, it would have been, the special meeting was the third, was Friday the third. Cause I called in because I was on the road.
I have text.
So the executive session would have been prior to that.
What does my executive paperwork say?
$324.
Oh.
Okay.
My bad. Okay. So Greg's was on the 3.
Yeah, so let's start this one over. So the executive meeting was on March,
Cause it was during our regular meeting.
it was immediately following,
Mm-hmm.
is that right? No, cause that was the
No,
19th, we did it later.
Yeah, cause I deposited.
The executive session?
We left and came back.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was during the regular meeting.
Yeah, we just paused it.
Yeah.
and then-
There was an executive fire board meeting, because we paused in between.
That was for the medic, cause we left.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And so
I thought we had one to talk about back pay.
Yeah, that was in the.
that was,
in the medic.
Medic.
That was in the medic?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so the fire had one talking about, with Chief Parati and our strategy moving forward.
Oh, that was.
That was the 27th.
Okay, I was not in that one.
Yeah,
Okay. so
Okay.
this was more
and that one was on
That was the 27th.
27.
27th is what I have on my calendars.
It was on a Friday.
Or excuse me, March 24th.
Yes.
That sounds right.
That lines up.
Sorry,
Okay, March
24th.
24th.
March 24th, 6:30 to 8:22.
Okay,
I have that.
Perfect.
and then I was not at the third meeting, the meeting on the third, because I was at the
Okay,
citizen thing.
Okay,
so I would entertain a motion to approve the executive session meeting that we held on March 24th. Strategizing on our, plan moving forward for the chief services.
this is the one I'll make the motion because I wrote the note.
So it's been moved by Chris,
Second.
second by Greg. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm gonna abstain because I wasn't there.
Okay, motion still carries 4-0.
Perfect.
All right.
Okay.
Now I'll entertain a motion to, approve the minutes from our special meeting that was held on
April 3rd.
April 3rd.
I will move to approve those.
Okay, so that's been moved by Chris, second by Greg. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Abstain.
and he's abstaining.
Motion carries
Okay.
4-0. Okay,
Thanks for sorting all that out.
Yep.
Moving on. Green.
one needs to go back to Greg and one's needs to time.
Okay.
Okay, I think we're caught up. On to. Is it there? Should be on old business, fire chief duties. So Ray, you still with us?
Unmute.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, so I wasn't able to get that, I guess this line item is in regards to the board appointing Chris and Ray and myself to try to come up with a transition plan. And we've got fire chief's duties on here, and Ray's put together a pretty good document on I guess it'd be a contract, Ray. Do you want to talk about that at all?
Well, yeah, I can, if they don't have it in front of me though. So I basically drew up, I took the chief's job description and I rewrote it down to a contract statement of what we would be, what we would ask Pendleton Fire Department to do. And so, I could send it to you guys or what, I mean, I think basically we just go through, I would, the board should approve this. I just broke it into major responsibilities. I tried to add some language about mentoring the medical administrator, assisting the administrator, trying to make it into, we're asking for basically a part-time position from the city of Pendleton. So,
Yeah.
Matt, yeah, I don't know. They need to see it. I guess I was hoping that if there was enough in it for everyone or not, or too much.
Yeah. And I guess, I have it up here. I wasn't able to get it out to everybody. Chris has it. I think that's a good overview. We're trying to whittle it down to see if it's palatable, I think, for Pendleton, which was the direction of the board, is to pursue that as to see if that is a pursuit that we could do. I think the next step would be with that delegation, I think, is to firm this up and get it in front of the city of Pendleton to see if they're like, hey, this is doable, or we got to modify this or this or this. So before the board would approve, I'd call it that contract modification or that document to be what we're going to solicit for. There's probably a little more work to do from us, i.e. Ray, who's been taking the bulk of it on. But we got to get that in front of Pendleton so they have a chance to see if it's viable. Are we going down the right path or are we not? Go ahead.
Yeah, Matt, I mean, there's probably things that I don't have in there if we want to talk about, I don't know, hours or percentage of time. I didn't address that, and we definitely need Pendleton's help to kind of flush that out. I mean, I hoped I kind of narrowed it down enough specific points that at least Pendleton could look at that and say, yeah, I think you're in the right direction, or no, that's still too much. So anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I think Chris had a question or a statement.
I was under the impression when we had our little meeting that Tony stated he was okay with how it was today, giving a little bit of oversight, but did not want the position of part-time and was trying to steer us into the Western fire people. And so I'm wondering if we're barking up the wrong area, if we're trying to put this in front of Pendleton, if he truly can't be what we need, if we need to be looking for a part-time elsewhere.
So, and actually number one is going to flow right into number two on here. So that's mostly accurate. I think in the very short term, I think he's willing to make sure we stay afloat. Right. That's
Right.
kind of that piece to it. What his concern is in my conversations is the boards need a plan moving forward with that organizational structure. The transition plan is going to be part of that. What does the organization look like on July 1st and beyond, right? Do we have a fire chief sitting at the top of that with a health administrator? Do we have an assistant chief that's doing operational stuff? Like, these are all the things that we're kind of a compressed time frame now, but if we're working on those things and come up with a plan that says that the fire district is going to do X, Y, and Z, I think that's on the table.
Okay,
And I'll say it this way, I believe that if, and I want to say whittle it down, but if we can get the chief's position effectively to be that oversight, the backstop, the outlet call, if somebody needs, something answered, the budgeting piece is really the big chunks of that, right?
Right.
But on the flip side, I'll say it this way, the health administrator is not the right position to be the rest of it. And so we need to look at that. Is that going to morph into something else? Is that going to be the day-to-day operations manager? Because, honestly, what Andy's hired into that position right now is probably not sufficient for what we want that organization to look like. Does that make sense?
yes,
So
he'll need other duties.
he'll need other duties because he may not have those duties in his current PD. And
Right.
if it looks, so there's a lot of things that we would have to do and define and organize. And it could be part of that transition plan of here's our intent. Our intent is to have the fire chief be nothing more than these, 5 or 10 things. Our intent is to have operations, assistant chief operations, or whatever we're going to call it, to do these duties, manage all the day-to-day stuff at the station level. And here's how it fits. Admin will be part of that. All of that stuff will need to be kind of defined. And so what Ray's got to start with is at least that chief duties piece.
Okay,
And so the next step was we're going to be looking at what is that next layer? What does our operational manager look like? Right. And so we're going to have to come up with a PD for that. And so we've got a few more things to do.
makes sense.
Yeah. And so this is just, step one of probably 10 steps. Maybe it's 5 and maybe it's 15. Ray, is that tracking?
Yeah, Matt, I think that we probably, the other thing is on the options, I had the option was to go with Pendleton. The other option was, that we go out, we recruit, and recruit's going to take, and I actually sat down and looked at the timeline, it's going to push us clear in almost July. If we were going to recruit for a part-time chief. Now, I don't know the SD. I don't know about the SDAO if they would have someone available or not. That's something I haven't looked at. I'm not sure. I don't have any contacts there anymore. I'd have to just start and see what they said. But
Well,
I think
technically,
for
we
what
have a chief till the end of June anyways.
Well, and that's the other thing. We actually do have a chief, whether that person's here or
Who's
not,
not-
40 hours a
Right.
week. We don't, if we were to fly a position tomorrow,
They wouldn't start till July.
they wouldn't start till
anyway.
July 1st anyway, because we
Yeah.
don't have a vacant position to put in that sense, I think. So,
I see what you mean. Okay.
yeah. And so in the interim, Tony is not going to let us fall apart. I don't want to put too much on him, but he's going to help make sure things and so it fits into the admin workload increasing over the next 2 months. It fits into Andy's workload increasing over the next 2 months, and there's only so long we can run him on other duties as assigned, right? And so at some point those are his duties, and we either need to modify what he's in, or we need to
Absolutely.
create a position that this is what we need out of that position. So I think that's kind of I would say is the update. Ray, do you have something else?
Oh, I had a question, Matt, and I don't know if you can say it on so the memo that is Dave going, is the plan for him to take leave for the rest of the time?
It's
Or
for,
can you answer that, or? Because that was what I kind of had in my head when I was working on this. So.
Yeah, no, I know. The chief's not
That's
here
okay, maybe.
to talk, I'm not a fan of,
Let's just say he's gonna be gone for a good chunk of it. That fair?
probably be gone for a good chunk of it, and I think we can manage it.
Okay,
So, is that a safe?
okay, okay.
That's a safe way.
In our meeting with Christine and I and management, he stated he would be gone May and June and possibly the end of April. And that's how he put it.
Yeah.
So,
That may change.
okay,
And it may stay the same.
that was the last I heard, but that was straight from him at that time.
Yeah, I have talked to him since. Personally, I think I appreciate what he's trying to do. He's trying to save the district some money.
But we still need some type of.
We still need
oversight.
something here, and so that whether that's full time for the next 2 months or whether that's part time for the next 2 months, if he wants to burn a week leave and come work for a week or be gone for 2 weeks and come back, I don't know. Like, but there's still plenty of stuff that needs to be done.
Yeah.
And if we got to cut a check at the end of it, because his contract says you got to pay me off my leave, then we're going to cut a check at the end of it because that's contract.
That's legal.
And that's what we're going to do. And it may sting, but we're prepared to do that anyway. And so I do think the board has an ability to deny a 2.5 month vacation request.
Yes.
You know, I mean, it, just like anyone, you gotta get your vacation approved before you take it, and we'll approve this much of vacation, but maybe not this much vacation. And so I guess that would be, you know, I don't think we need to vote on that as a board, but I think we need to have alignment on should there be an expectation to have him around a bit more than he was planning and not take 2 months off. And I can work with him on that, but I don't want to do that outside the lap too. So that's like 1 and 2 and maybe part 3, I don't know, so.
Yeah. Okay.
So I appreciate what he's doing. And I appreciate the sentiment, but it's not operationally as effective as we'd like it, so. And if he's already got stuff on the calendar and wants to pick and choose a handful of weeks to be gone, great, we can probably work around that, but. Just to, hand in your radio and your keys and walk out the door 2.5 months early, I don't know if that doesn't really fit in my opinion. Anything else on fire chief duties and or update of the IGA with the city of Pendleton?
This might be for you. Have they sent us a bill yet?
We received a bill for January, February, and March. I've not received one for April.
Okay. And so that's been.
Don't ask for one.
Okay.
Don't answer. So. Budget update. And I think chief sent I'll say a draft, pretty rough draft out. He sent to everybody, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I wouldn't say it's not a final, by any means.
I only got the end of this one.
Fire
Just
budget.
came out within the last day.
2 days ago.
2 days ago.
Yeah, sent it to the fire board and the budget committee.
I'll make sure you get a copy.
We should
I
have.
don't know why I get missed in half of the fire stuff.
So
No.
it goes to the EUFR board distribution list and you should be on that.
I should
Can
be.
you
Yeah, I'll
check, and make sure, just make sure?
Just worked on them recently, so yeah.
Okay.
Be in there. Yeah,
Um,
double check.
so he sent a preliminary, again, it's not final. I just, I haven't had a chance to really digest
I
it
did get it.
completely, but.
Yeah,
Oh, you did.
You're on the list. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
But I had a chance to kind of glance through there, so that's in the works. Do we have the budget meetings scheduled? Are they on the calendar, do you know?
May 4th is one
of them.
Yes,
May 4th is what?
May 4th.
That's something.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we've already published it in the paper.
The
6 o'clock.
notice.
Yes.
Yeah.
We do need to make sure that the second notice gets published on the website for at least 10 days.
Okay.
At least 5 days before the meeting. So the 10th day has to be on the 6th day before the meeting.
So that's like now. That's like now.
It's soon, yes.
So is there anything stopping us from getting that posted now? Just
We don't have access to the website.
website. Is that, Jeremy, is that something that you can webmaster your way into posting?
Okay, yeah.
When was the second one?
But it's just a second notice.
Oh,
The meeting's on the 4th.
yeah.
And then at that meeting, if you need another meeting, it would be set at that time.
Oh, okay.
We just have to have it, it's in the paper, we just need to get it on the website.
Yes.
So it's ASAP on that, if you can manage, is that doable?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
It's the effort to make websites easier and easier to manage, you're doing the opposite. They keep this miserable, because then you're locked into their designs. Yeah.
Well, the other opportunity or the other option was to run it in the paper again, and we've missed the deadline for that.
They can go on the website.
Anything else on the budget? A water pump update? Is there an update on that? You know?
Their 50% check was put out on the last pay run.
Okay.
So they're expected, I believe, next week.
So that's to get the
Water pressure.
water pressure pump done. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's in progress.
Yes.
Good. It's a real issue. So the city builds a water tower up here if we're gonna have that problem,
Mhm.
which is a ways out.
That thing?
Yeah, but it's just.
But that's on the other side.
It's gotta be even harder. higher,
It's
too.
gotta get all the
Gotta
way
go
up,
down and back
all the way
up.
down, all the way back up.
Okay.
So we need one on this side to balance it out.
Then the people in the bottom will really have
Yeah.
pressure, yeah.
Matt, you should have lived on the mountain, be my neighbor.
I've heard you got water issues up there.
Mm,
No,
I
you
don't-
don't mount snow.
Okay, policies. We've got two policies. Did you have them? You wanna jump in on this one?
Sure.
Awesome.
So the first one that we've had for a while, is policy 1010, 1011. It's on the staffing, recall, overtime, and forced hire procedures. So basically it gives Andy the ability to do what he needs to do for calling people back. And I assume that this has been vetted against our union contract and all that stuff.
So that's outdated. I've
Oh.
gone through and had to redo just to add like variance in there. There's a lot of things that I've revamped in that. It's already been, not this copy, the copy that I have has been forwarded to Jared to look at and to get it updated. Since it's an operational policy, it's something that, to my understanding, it's something I can just do and have it put into place. If I'm understanding correctly.
So. Yes. If it's, well, it's a policy, so it's gotta be approved by us.
Okay,
What we want is the union to give their blessing that this meets all of their intent.
yes,
So that when we follow our policy, we're not outside of collective bargaining.
correct.
And I don't think we need to, I talked with Jared about this a little bit. He was talking about it's not an amendment to the CDA. but it's
MOU.
a MOU or something like that. I don't know that we need that in this case, since it's a policy, and
Right.
if our policy is in alignment with the CBA, then we shouldn't need an MOU.
Right.
And the one hangup, or the, not hangup, but the only clarification I needed was if you punch out a callback thing, nobody responds, can you cover that shift? Since, you know, we went through, we shoved it out to career staff and nobody else came back and blah, blah, blah. Can you cover a shift on an ambulance to make sure that we have ALS
Right.
capacity? That was a pretty direct, you know, scenario question to him. And he said that in there, or at least in the version that he had been privy to of the recall, it was part of that, there's a word for it, but it's you said it.
MOU.
No, it's the
variance.
not the variance. What's the other one? And I didn't understand what that term meant, but that's what he meant by that.
Okay, where's the big one?
It's
They gave me.
force. It's the force
Force
hire.
hires. Okay.
So
So
we
that
have
would
that
be like-
ability under the force hire is we're not. I don't want to have a grievance because you're covering a shift.
Right.
You sent a thing out to everybody and nobody responded.
Right.
And that's not gonna happen very often, but we just wanna make sure our bases are covered, cause that's like, great. Every time you stab an ambulance, we got another grievance.
And
We don't want-
we did come up with an MOU, it's been forwarded to him, so I'm waiting to hear back from
Okay.
him. And I'll say, and then, with this 10-10 policy, I had to add a lot more in there because it's a very general, and I made it more, I don't say rules, but just like, I articulated a little bit more, so it was more defined, so these guys know, like, they have so much time to respond before I need to start moving on to get somebody else, and it's fair to me to keep moving on instead of waiting. It's not that these guys don't want to pick up the shifts, it's just they may not be at their phone and I can't, you know, they can still come back and pick it up.
Is it 10 minutes? Is it 20 minutes?
Right,
Is it
right.
4 hours, right? It's gotta be timely.
Yes, so I went through and had to adjust all that, so it's been all adjusted, it's been put in front of Jared, I'm just waiting to hear back from
So we're gonna see another version of this then.
him.
on that.
Yes.
So what about policy 1200? Is that one good to go?
That one should be, that's the policy to amend or change or omit policy. And that one, I think was more for just us to digest to see if that was, because we don't have a policy that says how you change it, but that would give us the policy that does that,
Well, supposedly it's replacing 103,
which was part of a,
part of our big book, right?
yeah. 103.7.
102 points.
3 points.
Memorandum of
Nope.
understanding.
Oh, right there, revisions to policies.
Yeah, 103.7.
Yeah. And when I read this, I didn't see anything in here that was like,
Yeah,
oh, can't do that. So that one seems pretty straightforward. So what it'll effectively do is 103.7 will come out of the policy manual. That will just be strike.
this one will become the
This will
new.
become a new policy to add a change, and it will go back as 1200. So. Is there a motion to approve policy 1200, the policy to add, omit, or change policy?
Why don't it just go in place of 103.7?
It'll be its own separate standing policy, so that we don't have to modify policy 103.
Okay.
We just modify policy 1200.
So moved.
Okay, been moved by Greg,
Second.
been seconded by Mark. Any further discussion? Those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? 5-0. So on the 1200 is approved.
Okay.
Do I also have a motion to strike policy 103.7? We'll got that one.
102.7 is radio.
3.7 is also radio.
What's a
You
radio?
need a copy. Oh, yes.
I moved to strike 103.7 revisions to policy.
Okay, it's been moved by Chris
Second.
and seconded by
Yep.
Chris. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay.
Okay.
All right, we're into. So we're still waiting on this one.
Was there a chief's report for the month? I don't.
Yes, was there? Here it is right here.
I have a spare copy here, I think. Oh, no, this is your copy.
Hit us with the highlights.
Pass it down, right, please.
Yes.
Oh,
Thank you.
anything from the
Did you want?
safety fuels and vehicles? Anything in addition from that we didn't hear before?
No.
Okay. Um.
Thanks for letting me see that.
Yes.
Questions on the chief's report? Okay.
No.
I'll move us into the bank accounts access, so it's probably a little more discussion to catch up from last meeting. So. Need to, we already removed Joanne, I thought last month. We didn't?
They went back and viewed it and we talked about it, but we didn't make an actual motion.
Yeah.
See, I thought we had to.
It was mentioned, but you decided, or the board decided not to remove her because there's no one currently that would take her place.
Sounds like some, the board, or I would say.
Well, I thought it was because there was no employee.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That
Yes.
was a concern,
It's
is can we
illegal.
do that with a,
Yeah.
with a temp?
Yeah.
I think we can do that. We may have to do, we'll just have to do it again potentially, so.
Yeah.
Give your little
But
piece of-
technically, when we called the bank, Joanne is only a sub-user, not a primary, which Dave was the primary. So all, according to the bank, they would have to do is go in and remove Joanne and put her as a sub-user. But now, we may have to do more and add him as a primary user.
We're gonna have to add somebody as a primary user, and that might be the easiest way to do that,
I've already prepared a letter.
to the bank.
Yes.
Okay.
And if that's what you decide to do, it has motioned by, seconded by,
So, yeah, and that, they're gonna need that, so I'll have to
Yeah.
read that letter. Into the.
and I believe Andy has it.
I'll wait some minutes.
Figured out.
Right.
Is that the one that? Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think not.
Christine? Sorry.
So, and this is just for the bank account, right?
It's for the bank account and managing the credit cards, yes.
So it still doesn't address the
LG.
LGIP and Amazon.
Correct.
Whatever else that we were talking about.
QuickBooks.
QuickBooks. But we're gonna sort that out internally, right?
Yes,
So. Okay, so this is just for the bank accounts.
yes,
And credit cards.
yes.
So it reads, this letter serves to confirm the board of directors meeting East Newton Fire Rescue held on April 16th was resolution was motioned by blank, seconded by blank, passed, so we removed Dave Beatty, add Andrew Cornell as authorized signer to all accounts at Bank of Eastern Oregon, as well as access to online banking, online credit card statements for all the accounts. These accounts are listed below for easy reference. I think we need a resolution number. If it's a resolution. Don't we?
2026. 10.
We need a resolution for that?
Well, it says a resolution. But if we just do it with a motion,
I think that's all. we
Yeah,
need.
I think just a copy of the minutes, right, is enough.
yeah.
States our intent.
Yeah.
So do we have a motion to pull Dave off the bank account and add Andy onto the account?
So moved.
Moved by Greg.
I'll second.
Everybody now.
Okay, which one?
March the second.
I'll take the
He's
second.
bigger than I
Doesn't count.
am.
Okay, it's been moved by Greg, second by Mark. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Okay, motion carries.
So I would move to add Jessica as a user on the LGIP account. Our Amazon account, I guess that covers, because we're gonna take care of everything internally.
Yeah.
So those two.
A sub user?
As a sub-user, yes.
Okay, so it's been moved by Chris, second by Greg. Any further discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Can I just ask a question? In regards to that, are you removing Dave at this moment in time or at the end of his contract? Because the way this states right now, what you guys just voted on removes him immediately. And I'm not on your board, but
Yeah.
think about that,
Should have
please.
said that before.
Well,
If you can give me roughly 5 minutes, I can revise the letter, print it and bring it to you. To where the
well,
letter states you're just
we wouldn't
adding.
necessarily want to remove Dave until June 30th, but we would want to add Andy now as authorized signer.
So I would just remove that portion.
They did it like that.
Oh, we did?
But then that.
Motion didn't remove Dave.
yes, it
Yeah,
did.
it did.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, it did.
Says we remove Dave and add Andy. So
Oh,
But but it's not as a signer, it's as our cash manager,
as
right?
an authorized signer to all of our.
Oh, as an authorized signer.
So, well, I mean,
Amend it to
just
say,
won't be signing checks,
Right,
well, that's true too.
so.
He doesn't sign checks now.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it also takes them off credit card usage and
we can still assign him a credit card, right?
Well, we can just amend the motion to state that we are making the motion to remove him as of June
Doesn't
30th,
specifically say anything about credit cards.
adding Andy today.
It does. So my recommendation, because I was the one that wrote the letter, would be if you give me 5 minutes, I can remove the portion where it says remove Dave. And then when Dave is no longer actively working, you can move again with a separate letter to remove him.
So and
All right, go
it'll
ahead.
just be adding Andy as a,
Right. So I'll be right back.
What do we do? We amend the motion?
Yeah, we have to.
No, we're just gonna redo it.
well, we gotta rescind it since we
gotta
passed
rescind
it.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Can't do that.
So I would entertain a motion to rescind the last motion.
I'll do
Oh.
that because he already did it.
Okay.
I'm rescinding your motion.
I don't blame what to do. All for it.
Okay, so it's been moved to unmoved,
Move to rescind.
moved to rescind, seconded to rescind. Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
Let's just back that part out of the minutes.
It's okay, it'll fall out in 7 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
someone will watch these and be like, what?
What the heck were they doing?
They will watch it and say, I really want to be on those boards.
If they make it to that point in the story.
They have nothing better to do on a Friday night.
So this other one is
Somebody might be having problems sleeping.
Chris Williams. Well, we probably restate that, but I think that was what she. This was to remove Joanne and add her as a user for the online banking. And I guess we could get this one out as well. I think the other one should go first. No, it shouldn't.
I thought that one should be good. We moved, seconded, voted, right?
Yeah, that's just Joanne, right?
This, yes,
This is just for the other, the LGIP and.
yeah, so we removed Joanne and we added Jessica as an authorized. So this one's done.
That one should be,
Okay.
okay, yeah. Chief wasn't involved in that.
No, now we gotta figure out the LGI, right? We did that one too. I didn't make a note. This is the one that takes Joanne off, adds Jessica.
Oh, but that just says Bank of East.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, cause I made a motion on the LGIP and the Amazon.
Okay, so this one isn't done yet.
Oh, no.
Too many puzzle pieces, so we're gonna get it.
Right?
I say we could probably do that one when we later, so it's worded correctly.
This one is worded correctly. So this one, I've already pre-filled your names, so you gotta. So this letter serves to confirm the board of directors meeting, held tonight was motion by Chris Williams, so you're gonna have to. Seconded by Greg Phillips, that we remove Joanne McKern and add Jessica Stanger as authorized user to our accounts at Bank of Eastern Oregon, as well as access to online banking, online credit card statements for these accounts that are listed below as accounts with UBC.
So moved.
Been moved by Chris, seconded by Greg.
Correct.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Yeah. So this other one, after the rescission serves that we are gonna make a motion, that we add Andy Furnell as an authorized user to all of our accounts at Bank of East North, including online banking, credit card statements, listed below. Do I have a motion to add Andy to the bank account?
I'm afraid to say anything.
Someone be brave.
So moved.
Okay, been moved by Greg.
I will second it again.
I almost wrote Greg Williams.
Change his
Seconded
name
by
to
Mark.
protect the innocent.
Under the bus.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Sorry for this one, this one doesn't exist anymore. These two are good. There you go.
Thank you.
Do we have anything else for bank accounts?
I don't believe so. Everything else can, excuse me, can be handled internally.
Do we keep a copy of that for retention? Because we made a motion and we rescinded it.
And I'll say rescinded.
I'm sorry, I'm just covering the paper trail.
Yeah.
I mean, if we said that we did it and we didn't, and we don't have a copy of showing it, then we probably would be somewhere.
In the minutes, but we can keep a copy of that.
Okay.
Brings us good to the order.
I do not have anything.
Nothing.
I just want to verify if we need to say it in the fire meeting that we're open to her position up to,
So to get back on that, I think we need to look at, yes, we're open to working the hours that need to be worked right now, understanding that there's a different situation happening. Until we move forward officially on anything, we need to look at the contract, we need to see what that says, so that we don't put ourselves in a awkward spot with that, if it has some other clause in there, blah, blah, blah. So you're gonna send that out, we're gonna be able to revisit that, you're gonna work the hours that you need to work for now, And I think by the May meeting, we should have, that should all be pretty well spelled out. We should have a pretty good version of a transition plan by then, or at least a lot of things identified, and so that the future of that position would be within that, or.
Well, I anticipate we may, especially.
Yes, if we get that done, yes.
Yeah, we hope so.
So now it's in the minutes.
Any other good of the order?
Just that, just note our next regular meeting is May 21st, not March 19th.
May 21st.
Yeah, we'll meet before, we have to meet before then, right? Great.
Greg's got us on a timeline.
I had something earlier today for the good of the order when I was thinking about this, and I don't remember what it was now, so I'm just gonna pass on that. Since I've been talking a lot today. Done talking. This was a good meeting. There was a lot of discussion, and I know we kind of jumped around on some motions and some other stuff, but I do like the discussion. I do like I think we're talking about the right things. And there's a lot coming in the next couple months. So just, be ready to hang on tight, jump in.
I'm pleased with the progress of the transition plan. Glad to see it's moving. Very pleased.
And that's,
Thank you.
I'll raise doing the heavy lifting so far. So
Good.
I know it's gonna catch up with us at some point.
He needs to work, so that's good.
He's doing the heavy lifting. So, okay. With that, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
The move, seconded, those in favor,
Aye.
those opposed. Motion carried. Meeting adjourned, I got 20:38.